So, from an early age, I was different than other kids. I couldn't talk the same way. My parents tried to keep a positive attitude about my speech problem, but essentially, if I tried to say the word cat, it would come out as tat. If I tried to say the word God, it came out as Dodd. You get the idea. It was cute until I was about 3 or 4 years old, but then it actually started to get serious. After moving to Canada at around 7 years old, my parents signed me up for speech lessons with a therapist at one of the local schools near my house in North York. And I remember going through weeks and weeks of unproductive and honestly quite agonizing lessons from this teacher who really didn't know what to do about me. And the lessons, I guess, must have helped at least a little bit, but they still never really fixed the main problem for me. In class, for example, when someone would sneeze and I said, "God bless you," the reaction would be, "Excuse me?" It never necessarily bothered me at first, but slowly it started getting to my head a little bit. Of course, I had my close friends who would tell their people about my speech issue, but I, on the other hand, generally tried to keep quiet about it. My parents kept telling me that it does eventually have to get fixed on its own, and even family members would always kind of give me that awkward look when I pronounced the word wrong. And then came the time that I had to speak in public. I remember the first time I had to go up in front of my grade 4 class to talk about the solar system. I sat down for hours and hours trying to plan out what I was going to say the night before, but as soon as I got up there and I began talking, I started jittering and shaking, and then you could see some tears running down my eyes. Needless to say, those 4 minutes felt like an eternity to me. And then again, at my parents' wedding anniversary, one of their friends asked me to share a few words at their surprise party. Unwillingly, I walked onto the stage, stared at the 80 or so people that were in the audience and also at my mom and dad, and next thing I know, I was bawling and running off to my room. And the speaking problem and even the inability for me to really just speak in public were almost absurd for any of my friends or my family members to comprehend. My mom was in business and, she makes presentations for a living, so I think everyone just expected me to naturally also be a good public speaker, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The only person who didn't really think it was that bad was myself. It was quite frustrating having to explain to my friends why I couldn't say words correctly and seeing all my family members try to help me along with my speaking. I mean, yes, I was embarrassed, but for some reason I had this feeling in my gut that it didn't really matter that I stumbled on my words. It didn't really matter if I couldn't pronounce my C's or Q's or K's correctly. It didn't matter that my hand or my leg would be shaking whenever I was behind a podium. I was only 10 after all. And then even in the 7th grade, I would have some people joking around about the way that I pronounce some words. And even though I knew that they were just kidding, it made me feel like I would never get better. In grade 8, I tried for the debate team at school. And even though I was worried about looking bad in front of everyone, I decided to try out because I had to prove to everyone else and to myself that I was better than what I made it seem like. Little did I know, I had just made the best decision of my life. I made the team. When it came time to compete, my team actually ended up winning the competition against all the other schools, and I got a perfect score in each debate that I was a part of. And that experience really just changed my life. It gave me hope and it helped me to see my own true potential. I continued with debate throughout middle and high school because for once I really had found a channel for public speaking, which didn't really make me feel bad about myself at the end of it. By the end of high school, I could say that I competed in 10 tournaments and placed in 6 of them. And now that I'm in my first year of university, I've definitely become more confident in my abilities. Talking in front of people no longer brings tears to my eyes and rather makes me proud of myself. To this day, I still get the occasional, "Sorry, what did you say?" after I say and evidently mispronounce a word, but now none of that matters. All the frustration, all the tears, all the jokes that were made about me, they were all part of my journey. My story isn't about my success, it's about my progress. And I'm blessed to say that my biggest weakness has now become my biggest strength. Thank you.